Oh, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Third Atlantic Studios, live in the playoffs. Your host, Joel, that's me, and some guy, Ed. How you doing, Ed?
It's happening. No. Again, playoff football is what we're looking for, especially on a super wildcard weekend. Again, it does mean that we get to watch a couple more games in Europe than the rest of the world because they are earlier on and they try to fit it into feasible times, those extra games. But yeah, it's nice to have some playoff football again since last year. How are you feeling? Your boys obviously made it, but actually, let's talk about the Steelers. Go on, I'll give you the floor.
Just want to thank you to all you Jags fans out there. Thank you to the organization, Shad Khan, I believe his name is. Thank you. I don't know who your GM is. Probably shouldn't get a mention.
Trent Baalke, the guy who everyone was wearing a clown mask because of.
Does he still have his job?
Somehow, yes.
Okay, well, I guess thank you to him too. Thank you, Big Trev, for turning up just before you get traded to us. That's great. Also, I'd like to thank Staley of the Chargers and the Chargers D-line for not getting the stop.
Chargers D-line, yes. Staley, no. But Chargers D-line, I do agree.
No, I think a mix of both. Of both.
I had no
Staley's reasoning for why he called that timeout actually is true because he wants to get his biggest run stopper on there. Makes sense.
Exactly.
However, then they gave up the big run after they brought on the specialized 100% package.
With you. I just don't understand everyone who's shitting on Staley for that. Like, bruh, everyone, your mom, my mom, everyone's mom knew what they were going to do.
Because they really think that they were really going to kneel it out. Like, no, they were never really.
Do that. They were never going to do that. And that's why I've got no problem with what he did. And I just don't. I like everyone was saying the contrary, and I was like, wait, maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. And then I just needed one smart person to agree with me. And thought, okay, cool, fine. And I was listening to Warren Sharp, and he was like, yeah, no, like what Staley did, it makes sense. He fucking wanted his best run defense there.
Yeah, his best run defender was on the bench. I obviously makes sense for the circumstances. And then he needed to get his best run defender off of the bench. So he wasn't going to run onto the field because run defenders are not known for their nimbleness to getting on and off the field quickly. So you had to stop it.
Are you saying that as a run defender?
Yeah, actually, I'm more of a pass rush guy, but I understand. Especially in OT, at the end of OT, you need to call that timeout to get him.
Yeah, I had no problem with that. And then all they had to do was fucking stop the run. That's all they had to do. But yeah, anyway, sorry, carry on.
So there's that. So once again, thank you for them for parting like the Red Sea, like we have earlier this year. But when it counts, I do want to actually. The NFL are obviously conspiring against TJ Watt, as they have in recent years. They didn't give him Defensive Player of the Year, but on top of that, they took away a sack and called it a tackle for a loss. So now he's joint with greatness. Strahan, sorry. He is joint with greatness. However, this should have been a record he had to himself. But it is what it is. Thank you, Raiders, obviously, for still electing to kick the field goal. Even though they could have kneeled it out. They could have gone all the way to the 1 yard line and kneeled it out. No. Obviously, I'm not saying that they would have, but they could have. They could have.
100%. But also, I didn't understand why people didn't think the Raiders were trying to win that game. They want no part of the. They want no part of the Chiefs. They want no part of the Chiefs. No, it's not even about that. They want no part of the Chiefs.
That's true.
You take the Bengals or the Chiefs, like you have your chance with the Bengals, and who knows what could happen. Like you're one injury away.
If we go off recent week form, the Bengals have been more of a threat. It looks like off recent weeks, but I get you.
But yeah, I just don't understand why some people thought the Raiders weren't trying to win the game. Of course, there's always the worst case scenario, and you want to avoid the worst case scenario. But like, if you're doing percentages, the percentages, I'm not gonna bother explaining it. But
because I'll tell you why they thought the Raiders were. Because if it was the other way around, the Chargers might have nailed that out.
Yeah,
because they would have looked at the percentages. They've been like the chance of them, let's say, fumbling, getting a strip sack, maybe getting an interception last second, are a lot higher than just kneeling it out. Let's take the tie and go to the playoffs. So if it was the other way around, it might have actually happened.
the one thing I want to say about that game is, so obviously for us, it was the last game. So like it started at fucking 1:30, so we're never going to watch it. And I turned off my notifications on Bleacher because I was watching the first half of the Jags game against the Pistons. No, they didn't play the Pistons. They played the Wizards over the weekend on Sunday. And I was going to watch the other half of it when I woke up in the morning. So that's what I did, and I had all my notifications off. So as soon as I finished watching the Magic game, I was like, cool, let me see what happened in the Chargers Raiders game, trying to avoid any spoilers. So on YouTube, on my sub box, I saw wild ending Chargers Raiders. I'm like, oh shit, 40 minutes long, wild ending Charger Raiders. Okay, cool. Let me watch this. I didn't have any other spoilers going on. So I clicked it and I started watching it. I was like briefly on my phone. And I've also got ESPN, but I didn't turn off my notifications for ESPN News. And I didn't see anything on ESPN News. I'm like, oh damn, I don't think it ended in a tie. But anyway, so I was watching the 40-minute video and I had like trying to watch a 40-minute video and I had half an hour until my first meeting started at work. So trying to like fast forward through the bits I didn't need to see. And then you and Alex started popping off in the group chat and I'm like, he said Steelers are in the playoffs. And fuck, it didn't end in a tie, whatever. So although I knew it didn't end in the start, I was still watching it as it was going on. Yeah. And I was like, oh bro, like these 4th down conversions by Herbert, fuck me. 4th and 10, bang. 4th and 10, bang. 4th and 9, bang. I was like, bro, they up and down, cool. And then I'm like, I still can't believe how this didn't end in a tie. I really, really wanted to end it as a tie. And I couldn't believe how close it was. Everything to happen to how close it was to still end in the tie. But yeah,
the fact that it was an overtime ending and it was an overtime ending in like the final minute.
Walk-off winning field goal from 46 yards.
Which is how the Steelers got through.
Against Ravens.
No, against the Ravens, yeah. And then for it to end like that, it was like if you were watching it live in real time.
Yeah.
At that 5-minute mark, like everyone thought this might really end in a tie. Okay, the Raiders went out for a lead. Chargers clawed it back. Boom, we're in OT. Ravens go out there. Chargers go out there. Ravens go out there. Oh my gosh, this might actually happen. And it's getting to the point where you think you're looking around at not like the play on the field, you're looking at reactions after plays. You're trying to look at the bench, see if they're doing anything. You know, when they do that cutaway to the bench or the coach, when they pull the game sheet up over their mouths, you're like really wondering, like, is this really happening? They cut up to the what was it, the office up at the top. Yeah, they're looking down. They're like, you're trying to get that hint, and it almost really did happen. Not even on purpose though, accidentally. That's the worst bit. Like it could have happened because there was a stalemate. Like it really could have happened. But thank you for that. Anyway, if we go on to another game that shocked us all, that really made this all happen.
Lions beating the Packers.
No, what your boys doing?
Yeah, no. When we were talking about the Jags, what was the one thing I said I didn't feel was bad? I thought was pretty good. Do you remember what that one element of the Jags game I said was pretty good?
Was it pass rush?
Defense. I thought their defense was quite good. And it's quite confusing because they don't force many turnovers. They don't have many sacks and they don't have many interceptions. But I still felt that their defense our defense is okay. Like I thought it was pretty good. I just feel the offense let us down so many times. And if you just to purely look at the scores, you'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because 50 got dropped 50 against the Patriots, got dropped 30 by like the Jets and something. But like when the offense is giving over silly interceptions and giving poor yardage to the defense to try and do anything, and they're on the field for most of the time, it's so hard on them. But I felt the defense did okay this year, pretty well this year. Just the offense didn't hold their side of the bargain. And we had some stupid special team plays, like teams were doing some special team shit against us, which was frustrating. But yeah.
But somehow, what do you think this match is because of though? Because
I have no idea. Somehow our defensive line was just on fire, and the offensive line for the Colts, I have no idea what happens to them. They had 2 Pro Bowlers that were starting. They've got an amazing offensive line, arguably the best in football, one of the best in football. Yeah. Whatever what you think of the Cowboys or the what's it called, Bucks, whichever you think is the best of line. The Colts are definitely up there. Somehow our pass rush was just getting there, even from the edge rushes and from the interior. And it's not like we were calling too many blitzes. We didn't blitz too much. It was just 4-man rushes. We did pretty well in the backfield. A lot of plays were covered. and Carson Wentz just had a couple moments where he had a bit of a mare, 2 or 3. And the offense,
big mares.
Our offense finally performed. I think that was the biggest thing because again, we kept the Bills to 6 points. 3 points, however much it was. We've had these sort of defensive hands before, but we haven't had these sort of offensive plays. Trevor Lawrence has some really nice plays. Do you remember the one? I'm not sure if you remember the one. There was like a really high snap, managed to catch it, rolled out to the right, like threw it right at the end of the end zone where you feel it's going out of bounds, but there's a receiver coming at the end. Marvin Jones got his incentive money, which was nice for him, captain of the receiver corps. And I think
ex-Lions, so it still screwed them over as well. So that's good.
Yeah, it didn't matter at the end of the day, like 1-2 to first or whatever. And do you know who our best offensive player was? I think Rich Eisen said it was quite funny. Our best offensive player was a special teamer last year for the Lions, which was Jamal Agnew, who's currently on the COVID list, which says all you need to know how our best offensive weapon was. Fucking special teamer for the Lions. Robinson was injured. We had our first round running back who was also injured. So there was a lot of things going on there. But anywho, looking forward to next year. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, people have given a lot of excuses for why the Colts, performed as they did. But then on the other hand, that obviously they give the excuse and then turn around and say, but a couple of weeks ago, when they were in this bad predicament with all their backups and everyone was injured, they were rolling over teams. And everyone was scared of them. So they can't even put a finger on it. Because normally you'd be like, my COVID people, my injury people. But they were beating teams like that and destroying them.
Yeah. So I saw someone made a point, which felt quite interesting and will fit to quite a few of the teams that we're going to pick later on, is some of these run pass teams, if they don't have an early lead, they have to start throwing, and that's when when they have to start throwing, it's like, okay, when they get a lead and they can control the pace and control the game, it's a bit easier to sort of get into a groove. But when they have to chase the game, that's when they struggle. And maybe that's with the Colts. Maybe we have to rely on Carson Wentz. When Carson Wentz has to be the person to rely on rather than to help supplement what you're doing, that could be where it goes wrong. And that's true. That's the case for some of the other teams that we're going to pick later on. So
that's fair enough.
I don't want to speak about any other games because we're going to talk about the teams that actually matter later on.
Yeah. Cool. I was just going to say thank you for the Jags for doing that early, because it did like add a lot more like flavor to the weekend. Imagine they jumped up to their league early and they held it.
Imagine how boring it would have been if the Jags didn't win. It would have been the most boring.
If they got steamrolled like they were supposed to, like what people thought was going to happen, the weekend would have been terrible.
The only thing from the NFC side was the 49ers Rams game, and 49ers had a comeback. Do you remember the whole Rams thing? How when the Rams are leading at halftime, they never lose.
That's done. That's done.
See what happens. Okay. So for those of you new that are listening, what me and Joel have done for the past 18 weeks is that we went head to head. We took it in turns to pick teams and draft matchups for who we think would win straight up. Joel, you fucking smashed me. You went 12-3-2. I went 3-12-2. We had a bye week. One bye week, just like all the other teams. With my record, actually, 3-12-2, I would have the third pick in the draft just off the Lions and the Jags. With your record, 12-3-2, where would you be if you had 12-3-2? You would potentially be
depending on.
I know.
Depending on the playoffs, I'd be last.
AFC, no,
to draft.
Yeah. If you AFC, I think you may have had the 1 seed, and the NFC, you would have had the 3rd seed. So yeah, fair play. Anyway, fuck you. So the fact that you won means that you get the first pick in the playoff draft of the 14 playoff teams you've got coming up. So that's what we're going to be now. This is what we live for. This is what it's all built up to. We've got the 14 playoff teams. Joel, you get the pick of the bunch. 2 teams on the bye, the Titans and the Packers, and the rest have got to play in Super Wildcard Weekend.
Yep.
Obviously, your Steelers are there. One of the things I was looking at whilst doing my research was I wanted to see how many of those playoff teams had wins against teams with winning records.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are between, let's say, 3 and 7. There are 2 teams below 3. One's on 2, one's on 0. I'm not talking about your Steelers I want to talk about the Steelers who have only won 2 games against winning teams. Do you know what's embarrassing about that?
What?
The Lions, with 3 wins, have won the same amount of games against winning teams, 2. The Jags, with 3 wins, do you know how many wins they won against winning teams?
What we're going to say, 3?
3. The Jags have won more games against winning teams than the Steelers. How bad is that? How are you not embarrassed? Are you not embarrassed?
No, because first of all, we can only beat what is in front of us. We can only beat what is in front of us, first of all.
The Bengals are in your division.
Yeah.
Why didn't you beat them?
Because they were good this year. They didn't get to the seeding by being
the Bills
bad.
Not good? Were the Bills not good? Because we beat them. Oh, I knew you did as well.
We beat them.
That was one of yours as well. But we also beat the Colts and Dolphins, 2 winning teams.
No, the Colts aren't in the playoffs, so who cares about
But they're winning teams. 9 wins.
Okay, who was the second one we beat?
I don't know. You tell me.
You tell me.
Because
we beat the Ravens.
I don't know. You're the Steelers fan. Tell me who you beat. Who are the winning teams that you beat?
We beat the Ravens. I don't even know who we beat. I don't care.
Bro, you fake. You're fake.
No, as soon as we on to the next week, because obviously we lost against the Chiefs.
Anyway, whilst you scramble there looking for your measly wins, we only beat teams that win. Like we don't care about the little teams. We only want to beat the good team. It's also great strategy in it, because if we beat the smaller teams, then they're going to have a better pick in the draft. So we only really win against teams that don't really have any case in the draft. But
yeah, I hear that. You know what's peak? We lost to the Chargers and so we helped get them in that position.
Just to
kind of sweep
the bag. Yeah, to fumble the bag.
Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna do my highlighters. Joel, what color do you want to be? Orange or green?
Green.
Cool.
For money.
Have you thought about your first pick?
Yeah, we beat the Browns, but they're not a winning team anymore.
Nope.
They were at the time though. Hold on, no, that's unfair. You have to ask, when we beat them, were they a winning team? Yeah, we got a lot more.
That doesn't matter, because you could only play one game, and that one game could be the Jags, and you're considered a winning team.
Okay, what's that?
Come on, Fitz.
Wait, I think that was our bye week. I've already written down my first pick.
Let me look at the Steelers schedule quickly, just to put you out your misery.
I'm doing it based off of my result. I'm not even looking online. I'm actually going through seeing who picked who. Oh yeah, we lost to the Packers. That was rough.
Lost to the Packers, lost to the Raiders. You beat the Bills. The other winning team that you beat wasn't
it week 1?
You beat the Titans. You beat the Titans a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, so we beat the 2 best seeds in the AFC. Okay, thank you.
You didn't beat the Chiefs.
Oh, okay, yeah, because the Bills aren't number 2. Sorry, I'm a year in the past. Sorry, my bad.
You're all cap. Anyway.
Either way,
you're all cap.
Either way, we beat two Super Bowl contending teams. At least the Bills, people thought they were going to be in the Super Bowl.
So okay, go on, pick him then. Bills, you taking Bills?
Okay, the first team I'm going to pick.
You pick
is the Packers. Obviously, I'm picking the Packers. Obviously, we're staying safe. The aim is to win this and beat who you're going to beat. I'm taking the Packers because first of all, they have the bye. So they have to play less matches to get there. So let's just be smart about this. And number 2, they actually play very good football, and they are, I think, favorites right now.
I think second favorites. Actually, I've got the odds here. No, so DraftKings have got Packers plus 380, so they are favorites.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll
take the favorites.
Cool. I am then going to take the second favorites, the team that I was always going to consider taking with the number 1 pick if I had them. Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
They might as well have a bye in a Super Wildcard weekend. Might as well have a bye.
But now the problem is, if there is an upset, this is the match that would happen, and we know that.
I'm not sharp. No, it's not. It's not.
If there's an upset, okay, what other upset is there's actually going to happen? Do you think?
So you think this could actually happen?
No, but this would be the 1-2 happen if an upset happens.
Why would this be the 1-2 happen?
Because there's no other upset that is really like you're really thinking.
Eagles Bucks?
No.
So you feel more confident the Eagles will beat the Bucks than the?
No, but I feel more confident that the Bucks will beat the Eagles than the Chiefs will beat the Steelers. Yes.
If I lose this draft, I can't believe if I can't lose this draft to you, if that's what you think. Oh my days.
You're saying that
the Steelers
my logic has clearly worked for 2
scraped it in. It took them to overtime it took them to overtime to beat the most injury-riddled team in the NFL right now, the Ravens, throughout the whole season. It took them to overtime to beat them and had a field goal to scrape the playoffs just because
so
the
Ravens
Jags
had a
beat the
chance of
Colts.
making the playoffs. So the Ravens had a chance of making the playoffs through all these injuries.
They did.
Okay,
because
then.
of adversity.
We haven't had injuries, have we? We haven't had injuries.
Not like the Ravens.
We haven't had COVID guys going out.
Every team has, but not like the Ravens. The Ravens
Every team has. So every team's good, and they were going to make the playoffs. What can we do about that?
Oh my days.
You're saying this, but my logic has beaten you for 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, that is fine. But just because you are always right doesn't mean you can't be wrong. Just because you're always right.
But this is the logic that I've been using, and it's been working. This is the logic I've been using, and it's clearly working.
Is this the Arsenal delusion? Did something happen to you during that Nottingham Forest game where like now you're deluded about stuff?
No, I just know the thing because I have 2 teams. I support 2 teams that lose to teams that they should beat and beat teams that they should lose to. So I know the formula.
So the Steelers should beat teams they're supposed to lose to.
No, the Steelers beat teams that they are supposed to lose to and lose to teams they are supposed to beat.
They beat teams they're supposed to lose to. And how many of those wins did they have against teams that they're supposed to lose to, which we just discussed? They've only got 2 wins against teams with winning records.
Yeah, the Bills that were Super Bowl favorites once again when that match happened.
They were never Super Bowl favorites.
They were Super Bowl favorites. Yes, they were. At the beginning of the season, they were. There was the Bills and
the first 4 weeks don't mean anything. The first 4 weeks don't mean anything. It's the first 4 weeks.
So then why their preseason rankings? Why do people put
because people have got nothing better to do. People have got nothing better to do.
Because they actually think they're going to win.
They need content, Joel. The first 4
and
weeks,
they think they're going to win.
You know that they need content.
No, yeah, but the money. You put your money behind teams you actually think are going to win. Like your money.
The point still stands. They only beat 2 teams with winning records. How are you going to say that? Oh, they beat the teams that they're supposed to lose to and blah blah blah. They only beat 2 teams with winning records.
Okay, and those teams you thought were going to beat them. You especially thought were going to beat them because you picked against them and you lost it. So what was that?
What about all the other times when they lost to winning teams? Are you going to skip Bayless and just focus on 2 things rather than the whole thing?
No, they lose the teams that they should beat and beat teams they should lose to. You had them out. They were in this playoffs.
Did you have them out? Did you have them out?
Did you have them out? From the beginning of the year.
Did you have them out as well?
No. Who put them in the playoffs?
Told me you're lying. That smile told me you're lying.
Who put them in the playoffs at the beginning of the year?
Okay, that's fine. What happened during the season?
Who put them
I answered your question. I answered your question. I answered your question. You didn't answer my question. I answered your question. I said you. Did you have them during the season?
Yes. Because that was my prediction.
You're lying again.
I stay on my prediction. Did I not? I stayed on my prediction.
You're lying again.
Mid-season, you laughed.
Did you beat the Chiefs because you were supposed to lose to them? Did you beat the Chiefs? No. Did you beat the Bengals twice because you were supposed to lose?
It doesn't always happen. No. But it happens regularly.
Did you beat the Chargers? You were supposed to beat them. No. So there's 4 right there.
We were supposed to lose to them.
Did you beat?
We were supposed to lose to the Chargers. Did you not see the record at the time? We were supposed to lose to the Chargers.
Exactly, and you didn't.
Hopefully we beat them.
Did you?
I never said it happens every time. I just said it happens regularly.
You're talking about 2 out of 7.
Over years, Ed. Over years. No one said this season it happens. This happens over years.
I'm not even going to entertain this.
Over years.
For your
sake.
We
lose to Nottingham Forest. We get knocked out of the FA Cup
sake,
twice by Nottingham Forest, a team we should beat. That happens over years.
Anyway, who's your second pick? For your sake, I'm going to stop talking about this.
My second pick is the Bucks. And once again, my logic stands. Just because you fight. Yep.
Wow. I mean, again, I think the Bucks are okay, but they've got some big injuries. Their run defense isn't what it was last year. I think Leonard Fournette was injured a little bit as well. I'm not sure if he's. Yeah. I saw that as well, but wow, interesting.
I'm covering my back with the NFC.
Huh. I'm surprised you didn't go for the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Yeah. That might have originally been my plan. I might have got flustered on that last one, but I thought it over today, and I was like, "No, I'm gonna take the 2."
Wow, I'm definitely gonna take the number 1 seed in AFC. I thought you would have jumped the opportunity to have both number 1 seeds.
I knew you were. No, I did that last year. It did work out, but
Chiefs and was it the same? Chiefs and Packers were number 1 seeds last year, I think.
Yeah, and then it was the Bills. Then obviously we did a little different format last year, so I could just take the 2 number 1 seeds and then let you fight over the rest.
The scraps. Get me gassed for 1 week.
But
your third pick.
If I'm correct in my thinking, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Bengals?
If I'm correct in my thinking.
What makes you say Bengals? With your 5th pick overall? With the 5th pick overall, sorry.
The same reason I'm thinking of, I was looking at their first matchup. I'm looking, instead of picking teams that I think are the best in like their order of the playoffs, I'm trying to pick them based on their path.
I was considering that, but because it's so difficult to predict in the NFL the past, because it's based on if you're higher seed or not, it can get all flustered.
Yep.
That's why I was thinking about it. I was like, no, I'm just not even going to bother that. It's not going to work. Interesting. Now, I feel that there's only really one more contender left in the AFC, but in the NFC, there's a couple more teams in there. There's one I really want, but I don't think you're going to pick them for a little while. There's something I spotted about the Bills, which I don't like too much. So in that case, I'm going to be a bit risky. No. Because no. Cool. I'm going to go a bit different. I'm going to take the Rams in the NFC.
I thought so. I thought that was a team. No, I thought that was a team you just talked yourself out of.
No, there's another team I talked myself out
of. There's 2 teams there that I can talk myself into and try and jump on. But I have to do what's right. I thought you just talked yourself out of the Rams and went for the other team I was thinking of. But I'm going to go for the Bills.
Yeah, again, I think I probably did let the Bills slip. I could have taken them and just had the top 3 teams in the AFC secured. But I just thought I needed some more NFC teams. But yeah, completely understand that.
Yeah, for same reasoning. And also, if we go by pass,
it's difficult.
But if we do go by pass, not only have I got the team I actually think is going to make it through the path, I'm taking a team that potentially they could lose to.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. So obviously you're trying to go for the Patriots because that's the only other team you want in the AFC. Realistically, you don't want the Raiders and you don't want the Steelers.
I don't know. It could be the best mind game of all time.
That's fine. I don't mind how the NFC falls. And because of that, I'm going to take the Patriots. I'm going
to be real with you.
I did the AFC on the left side and NFC on the right side. I'm not even looking at the left side anymore.
I'm going to be real with you.
Uh-oh.
I do not think the Patriots are making it out of this round.
Yeah, I mean, of course, they're not at home. They're the 6th seed.
But nothing in my head says that the Patriots can't beat the Bills. They have done this season in adverse weather, and it looked very terrible. And as we know, if the weather is bad, Bill will win. But nothing in the team, especially now that they've hit their upswing, they've hit that momentum bit. Nothing says that they should lose this game. I'm just putting faith in the Bills again over the actual momentums and the feel right now around the Patriots camp, because I still think they may be a year away.
Yeah, and Mac Jones didn't have his best game pass. He hasn't had his best run past couple of weeks. So the Patriots aren't what they were a couple of weeks ago. They don't have the same vim as they did a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Which NFC team are you taking?
You think I won't take my team?
Take him. I don't care.
Everything is telling me not to do this. Everything is telling me not to do this.
I just hope you don't pick this one team. Actually, I'm definitely going to pick them with my next pick.
Hold on. Let me just see this and see what their path is. Oh, okay. No, I've still got to do it, don't I? Oh damn. What's happened here? Hold on. I still got to do this. Okay. Right. So I'm going to go with how did I have it before? I don't even know. Okay. I'm gonna go with I can't. Everything is telling me to do this team, but I just can't. I just can't.
Pick them.
No, I'm doing it. I'm gonna go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that. Cool.
I can't. I can't. I can't. I shouldn't. I really shouldn't.
You got the top 3 teams in the NFC, and I'm really pleased you did that because the team I wanted was the 49ers.
They're not good though.
What do you mean they're not good?
They're not good.
I told you they're not good.
This year they haven't been good. You're talking about squeaking over the line and squeaking through the playoffs.
They still had
to the playoffs even.
They had to win their final game, but did you see their final game?
Actually,
they duppied the Rams.
I mean, it was a comeback victory. They're hardly a duppy.
Oh, comeback victory. And then what's that thing about the Rams? They never lose when they're up.
Okay, so a comeback victory for the Steelers and they duppy the Ravens.
The 49ers are going to have the typical Titans formula that we're going to run, but we've also got some dogs on offense that can, some dogs in the receiving game that can do stuff. Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. I don't think the Cowboys want to see him.
Yeah. Really and truly, talking about the Titans, I was willing to risk the Titans over what you thought the Bengals might do.
Over what the Bengals might do. Okay.
Because I was obviously we picked the first two. The first two were going to be the first two.
Yeah.
I thought that third, fourth, and fifth pick was where the confusion might lie. And I do think the Titans can do a lot of damage, especially if they've shown this year that they can really do some damage when they lose guys, especially if they lose them, unexpectedly, like not through it. Obviously, like they just get yanked out one day because of COVID and they have to change their thing. Their best player, as we've said, Derrick Henry, is back. And he wasn't there for a lot of the season and they still got the first seed, but they still use that same formula. So they've got Derrick Henry and another running back that can do the same thing and provide similar results.
A lot of injuries to their wide receivers. They've had so many injuries to AJ Brown. Like AJ Brown and Julio have barely played.
But Julio just came back and still hasn't looked good.
And
he just scored the first touchdown.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, okay, this is worst case scenario. And they've been through worst case scenario.
Yeah.
I can only see them going up, but it's annoying because they're in my division. I think overall Jags fans like the Titans the least out of everyone in their division. But So we had 10 picks, 4 more picks left. Who you got?
Cool. Let me just do it. I'm gonna take the Cardinals.
Yeah, of course.
Another team that I don't think is actually gonna. I think their reputation is better than what they will produce in the playoffs. This playoffs, I should say. And I think they're that team. However, I am willing to have them this low down.
Ready for the upset alert?
Go on.
Taking the Raiders. Go on. Raiders, come on. Let's go beat the Bengals. Let's go Raiders.
Do you think that's that much of an upset?
What's the spread? After this, I'll check the spread. But no, everyone loves the Bengals. Their offense, everyone loves their offense. They've got some nice pieces on defense that can make plays. The boy that used to be on, where did he used to be on? Hendrickson on the Saints was on the Bengals this year.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was a Steeler for some reason.
No, I thought he was a Washington. I thought it was a football team.
No.
But that's someone else I'm thinking of. That's another white pass rusher. Kind of rude for me, isn't it?
Yes. On Washington. Do you mean I'm thinking about the interior guy, not the edge guy. I can't remember. There's an interior guy, Ionescu. I think he's
no, it's the one that Chase Young pushed out.
Kerrigan,
they got Chase
Ryan
Young.
Kerrigan.
There we go. When they got Chase Young, they stopped caring about him. That was he's gone to the Saints, though, hasn't he? And then so now Hendrickson is now Hendrick. So it's funny how that works. It's funny how that works.
It reminds me of the storyline how the only reason Kevin Love got selected into the Olympic team for the Summer Olympics just gone was just so there was a white guy there, because there's no more good white US Team USA players. If your best white player is Tyler Hero, then oof.
Yeah.
So quickly the spread. First one that comes up: Cincinnati, Vegas. What do you think the spread is?
7.5.
5.5.
5.5. Okay, that's not bad.
We'll go over the spread.
Steelers is definitely over 10.
Yes, I think I heard it on one of the podcasts. They were saying
I'm going to go 13.5.
Yeah, I think on one of them said 12. It's 12.5.
12.5. Okay.
We'll go over the spreads and the bets at the end. So two more teams: Steelers and Eagles. Do I need to ask you?
No, I've already written it down. Oh, come on, the boys. I think this is the one that you want to do upset watch. Not because anything's to suggest that it does happen, but this would be the biggest scenes if it does happen. And that's what I'm riding on.
Cool. Remember I told you there was one team which didn't have any wins against a team with a winning record?
Mm-hmm.
It was the Eagles. They have not beaten a team with a winning record. So
that's good. That's good. And that's all they're going to face from here on out. But then people are saying though that this might happen. I'm not going to lie to you. People are saying that this is going to happen.
What?
The media members are saying that because obviously that was a Super Bowl, the Eagles versus Brady, that people are saying that it's coming back. I think this is Brady's chance to right the wrong without righting the wrong. If he wins, this might propel him on the run. You get what I mean? That is my thinking.
Imagine if he loses again, and the only teams able to take down Tom Brady were New York and Philadelphia. Oh,
there'll be riots. Someone will call for a fix. I promise you. Someone will actually do a whole investigation into the NFL for that.
Some quick spreads. So this is on Caesars. They've got Cincy favored by 5.5. Yep. Then they've got Buffalo favored by 4. They've got
4.
Yeah.
Wait. They actually said 4.
Yeah, 4 against New England.
Not even a half point. Okay.
Yeah, they're rated again. New England didn't have the vim that they have before.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay 8.5 against Philly.
Okay. Yeah.
Dallas 3 against San Francisco.
Okay.
As we said, 12.5.
That means someone bet it down. That means they bet it down. Oh, bet it down or up, right? Because they set the line at half points. They set them at 0.5s, and then I wonder where the money's going. No, interesting.
And then Chiefs Pittsburgh. We discussed that, and then final one. I'll get you to guess this one. Rams Cards.
3.5.
4. Pretty close. Pretty good.
Jeez.
And then Super Bowl odds. So I've got the odds here by DraftKings.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1 Packers, number 2 Chiefs, 3 Bills, 4 Titans, 5 Bucks, 6 Rams, 7 Cowboys, 8 Cards, 9 Bengals, 12 Pats. No, sorry, 12 49ers, 13 Packs, 14 Raiders, 15 Eagles, 16 Steelers.
1,600.
No, they got 9,000. 9,000 odds.
Jeez.
So better.
Yeah, I would say when I filled up my bracket, my Super Bowl bracket for the Super Bowl challenge.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, on Sky Sports. That's what I did my pathways off of.
Oh, okay. So that's how you did yours. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then but obviously it gives you the percentage of what people have picked per round and all that.
Yes, it does.
Who do you think is the lowest team to actually win it all?
Because I'm going to have to think about the diehards who would just put their team to win everything. So I'm assuming that will happen for Eagles and Steelers. So I'm going to say Raiders.
You're wrong. It is the Steelers. What do you think the percentage of people that have actually because when I did it earlier today, that have early filled out their brackets. How many do you think? What percentage do you think picked the Steelers?
0.2.
Not even one person. 0%.
Ah.
So that's including me. I finished my bracket. I finished my bracket. I didn't pick them to win. However, I might do another bracket and just get them to win, just because you have to.
To make you feel better about yourself.
And let me look. I'm actually gonna look right now. Fan predictions.
Do you want to know what the one?
Okay, 3% Steelers now.
Oh, do you want to know what the one positive though for the Steelers is this year?
What?
That you won't hear from me that the last 2 playoff losses to the Steelers were against the Browns, and the last 2 playoff games against the Steelers was a loss against the Browns and a loss against the Jags. At least you can say it's a loss against the Chiefs, so it makes them more respectable. You can't have your last 2 games being losses against Browns and Jags.
Oh, sorry, no, I was incorrect. The Super Bowl odds for the Steelers are now 1%, matched with the Cardinals, the Raiders, and the Eagles.
Cardinals, wow.
The Cardinals are at 1%. The Pittsburgh Steelers 1%. The Raiders at 1%. The Eagles at 1%.
What are Packers and Chiefs?
Packers 41%. Chiefs 14%.
Wow.
Tampa Bay 14%.
Everyone's riding hard with the.
Everyone thinks Aaron Rodgers is going to get MVP and Super Bowl.
I would love it. Like, again, I'm a Rodgers fan, so on the field, I'm a Rodgers fan. I would love it for him, and to piss off Skip Bayless. But wow, interesting. How much are the Titans?
Titans are on 5%.
Casuals. Anyway,
but I think they're counting it based off of when they get to a high-powered offense, will they be able to handle it? The year suggests that they will the whole year, but
Titans and Chiefs both have 7 wins against teams with winning records. Next closest is Bucks with 6. FYI, Bucks and Raiders with 6.
Yeah, and obviously when you go up against the Titans, you might beat yourself up. Next week, who knows who's going to be able to play?
And they got that first round bye, baby.
Yeah, and that's what it's. Just like, once again, we're at the war of attrition, as well as skill at this point. So,
also, they're going to get the lowest seeded team in the AFC.
Yep.
The 3 low seed teams in the AFC are pretty beatable compared to the 3 lowest, I feel, in the NFC.
I would say, actually,
do you get what I mean?
What they want the Steelers to make it. I think the Titans players want the Steelers to make it.
Yeah, 100%. Of course they do.
That is the team that has to run a similar system to you right now, because of the skill of the players for the most part, the majority of the game, and the Titans are so much better at it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, cool. They want the Steelers because they're shit. Like,
no, because it's more than that. It's like styles make fights. The Steelers may not be the Chiefs, but if you have to fight me in a way that I am good at fighting,
I get what you're saying. I get the point.
I get
the point you're making.
Cool.
So those are our teams, Joel. Your 7 playoff teams for the 2022 playoffs. It's not really a 2022 season because they play most of them. It's confusing for me in the NFL.
They call it 2021 season.
Okay, 2021 season. Your 7 teams are Packers, Bucks, Cowboys, Bills, Bengals, Cards, Steelers. I have got
boys.
What? Oh, you call them boys?
Them boys.
Oh, okay, got you. I've got Titans, Chiefs, Rams, Raiders, Pats, Eagles, 49ers. Okay. Got a couple California teams. I've got New England up there. Got Las Vegas. Yeah, okay, cool.
I did not take into account where the Super Bowl is. Didn't do that. Didn't do that.
California.
I think they're going to knock themselves out, though, before it gets to that.
Rams.
For the most part. Rams in San Francisco.
Let's get your final Super Bowl prediction.
My Super Bowl prediction is...
Say 2 of your teams. Go on.
Packers, Bengals.
Yeah. Packers, Bengals.
Part of me feels like the Bengals can make it, and then part of me thinks it's the Bengals. The same way the Cowboys. Part of me think, they have a team that could do it, but then it's the Cowboys. Like, it's that kind of feel. However, Packers and Chiefs is more likely, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Packers.
Yeah,
Bengals.
fuck yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Titans or Chiefs. Let's just go for a fat slugfest. Just running Yeah, just running the ball the whole game, no passing at all. Fuck it. Yeah. Titans 49ers, no running, no passing the ball. We just run.
49ers, whoa.
Fuck it. Whoa. Fuck it. You say Bengals, I say 49ers.
Fair enough. Jeez, that came out of nowhere.
Gosh, I feel like a 49ers fan now. What time's that game? I'm up for this. Oh, when they playing the Cowboys? Is it on Saturday when we're out?
Hold on. Oh, my thing decided to load again. Let's get the quick one up. It is at 9:30
on
Sunday.
Sunday. Get in. That'll probably be a really fun game because I think that's upset alert against the Cowboys. That's a prime time game for. I'm so looking forward to that.
If you said, I think the Cowboys have done enough this year to get at least that respect from me. From me.
Do you want me to? Okay, I'm not gonna because it's gonna be long. I can't be bothered. Do you want me to go back to you before you pick the Cowboys?
They will. I think they will go out the next round, but they will get everyone's hopes up this round and then get knocked out.
This is gonna be fun, right? I look forward to the next couple of weeks when we see what's gonna happen.
It's just know the Steelers made the playoffs, even though someone laughed at me when I picked them to make the playoffs.
Yeah, you laughed at you.
You laughed at me.
Yeah, you laughed.
And look who's laughing now.
Are you seriously laughing? You're gonna get smacked up. Yeah, you're laughing of embarrassment.
Guess what? When we didn't make the playoffs, I mean, we're in a similar position for the draft wise. You said it'll be better to make the playoffs and lose than to not make the playoffs.
Yeah, I did say that. Yeah, probably.
And still be 2 picks behind or ahead.
Yeah, I stand by that. Yeah.
So look who's laughing now.